More than 1 million public sector workers are on strike today in a row over pay. IBTimes UK got the chance to speak to Dave Prentis, one of the union leaders behind the industrial action. So David Cameron in Parliament yesterday said he pledged to introduce new strike laws. The government looks like it's not going to budge on the pay deal, not going to increase. It looks like the industrial action has failed before it's begun today.
Well, it's rhetoric, isn't it? I'm General Secretary of Unison. We represent local government workers. The people who clean our streets, our refuse collectors, it's the people who care for our elderly, the people who care for our children. And they have had a 5-year pay freeze. They did not get the £250 promised by George Osborne for low-paid workers in either 1 year or the next year. So through 5 years, they've seen their pay fall by nearly £4,000 a year. And they have decided that they must do something about it. Over 80% of them are women. They're taking the action today. 300,000 of them are on 0 hours contracts. Nearly 1 million of them earn less than the living wage. These are low-paid workers who are saying we cannot take any more. And this is the start of our action to stand up for them, to give them a voice, and not to talk to central government, but to talk to local government employers about what they are allowing to happen in our local community services. It's a race to the bottom, and it's in nobody's interest because public services will decline along with the pay of our members. And we're looking for a long-term agreement. We're not looking for sticky plaster, maybe 0.5% today. We want to sit down and talk about how we're going to restore local government salaries to being decent salaries, how we're going to get respect for local government workers. So it's a far bigger issue than the knee-jerking points made by David Cameron this morning.
Okay, and with regards to local government and central government, they're arguing that cuts need to be costs need to be cut. Do you have any sympathy with that argument?
Well, they said it would take 3 years to do the cuts. Now we're talking it will be a 7-year programme. It becomes permanent, and it cannot be just left to public service workers to pay the price for the crash. The crash was caused by the rich in our society. It was caused by the banks, and yet it's low-paid public service workers who are paying the price, and that cannot continue.
And my final question, there's a possibility that Ed Miliband and the Labour government could come into power in 10 months' time.
Yes.
Do you think things will change for local government workers under Labour, or do you think it will be the same as a coalition government?
I think we've got a chance with the new leader of the Local Government Association, David Sparks, to actually enter into negotiations. But at the same time, whichever of these parliamentary powers are in power, parliamentary parties are in power, we'll still have difficulties over pay. But what we cannot do is go back to poverty wages while the rich in our society do so well. The top 1% in our society last year increased their wealth by 18%, while our people, the people that we represent, they suffered a pay freeze and were using food banks to get by. That cannot be right.
Thanks for your time.